poh-TAY-tohz, funeral potatoes, a dish named for the saddest day it serves. From the Wasatch Front, Wasatch, the string of towns beneath Utah's mountains, where the women of the church learned to answer loss with a warm pan of potatoes, carried to the door of a grieving family. This is comfort you can set on a table. Some dishes are made to impress. This one is made to console. You will not find it on a restaurant menu, and that is the point. It belongs to home kitchens, to church halls, to potluck tables lined with foil pans. The Relief Society sisters will tell you the secret was never the cheese. It is that someone made it for you. Servings 6. 15 minutes to gather, 45 to bake. Then the wait. Now the gathering. 30 ounces of frozen shredded hash browns, 1.5 cups of sour cream, 10.5 ounces of condensed cream of chicken soup, half a cup of butter divided, 2 cups of sharp cheddar cheese, half a cup of green onion, 2 cups of cornflakes, and half a teaspoon of salt. Warm the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Butter a 9x13 dish until it shines. In your largest bowl, the hash browns go first, then the sour cream, the cream of chicken soup, the sharp cheddar, the green onion, the salt, and a 1/4 cup of the butter, melted soft. Fold it all together, slow, until every shred is dressed. Now lift the mixture into the buttered dish. Let it fall in soft, heavy spoonfuls. No rush. Spread it into one even layer, corner to corner. Press it gently level with the back of the spoon. This is the bed where everything will set. Smooth, patient, ready for its crown. The topping is the whole reason. Pour 2 cups of cornflakes into a bowl. Crush them coarsely by hand, not to dust, but to rubble. You want the crackle to survive the oven. Melt the last 1/4 cup of butter. Pour it over the flakes and toss. Let each one drink the butter until it glistens gold. Listen. That soft, dry rustle is the sound of the crust to come. Now, slowly, take the buttered flakes by the handful. Let them fall across the top. An even, whispering snow. Cover every inch of the pale potato below. No bare spots. No heavy drifts, just a soft, golden blanket settling into place. This is the quietest moment in the whole kitchen. Into the oven it goes, 350 degrees, for 45 minutes. Close the door and let the heat do its slow work. The edges will begin to bubble. The top will turn a deep buttery gold, and the whole house will fill with the smell of something made in love. When it comes out, wait, 10 minutes, I know, but the rest is what lets it set. So each spoonful holds together, then divided into 6 warm portions. The crust cracks, the steam rises, and underneath, the softest, creamiest potato. This is the reward for patience. Where does such a dish begin? In the church kitchens of the Intermountain West, sometime in the middle of the last century, when canned soup and frozen potatoes first reached the pantry shelf, the casserole was born. But the impulse behind it was far older. The women of the Relief Society, founded in Nauvoo, Illinois, in 1842, had long organized the feeding of the grieving. The roots run back to the pioneers themselves, the saints who crossed the plains into the valley they called Deseret, the land of the honeybee. Theirs was a gospel of provisioning. Store the harvest, share the surplus, never let a neighbor go hungry. So when sorrow came to a household, the answer was already understood. Someone would cook, someone would carry it over. Then the dish stepped out of the ward hall. In 2002, when the Winter Games came to Salt Lake City, a commemorative pin appeared, painted with a pan of funeral potatoes. The insider comfort food had become a state emblem. Soon it filled cookbooks and freezer aisles, boxed mixes on the grocery shelf. The whole country began to learn the name Utah had always known. And still, it means what it always meant. When a family loses someone, the Relief Society sisters gather. Potatoes are poured, cheese is grated, foil pans line the church counter, and the casseroles arrive warm at a door that does not know what to say. Today it feeds Easter and Christmas too, every potluck along the Wasatch. But its truest table is the one set in grief. One last spoonful, lifted from the pan. The crust breaks with a soft crackle. The steam curls upward, and the creamy gold beneath gives way. Set it gently on the plate. Funeral potatoes are the rarest kind of recipe. One that has survived not because it was ever fashionable, but because it was needed. It survives because it was never trying to be impressive. It was only trying to feed the people who loved it. And the table, at last, is set.